his eyes, and he can blow air out of his ears.
He can do what?
He blows air out of his eyes.
Out of his eyes? This I've got to see.
Your ears don't lap over. He blows air out of his...
Steve Crawshaw will have a follow-up report on KSU Radio's Seeds program.
Yes, and tonight...
Big show tonight.
Yes, Monday is usually always swap night, and this is no exception. We'll be trading this auto gas... Right. No, that's Mike Pritchard. No, that's the stove. We're trading this stove. As you can see, it's in very good condition. It's one of the early hand-pump gas stoves, and we're told that it is in working order. Regardless, it is quite attractive.
So I think you know how the swap works. If you have an item or items that you'd like to trade for the stove, you call us right now on 969-6666. You tell the antique lady what you've got, and then you hold on the line, and we'll talk about that a little bit. John will talk to you, and if we like what you have, you bring it down, you swap it for the stove. 969-6666.
This explanation keeps drawing out longer and longer, doesn't it? Well, the guy who called the other day was not Elliott Kahn's agent. As far as I know, Elliott Kahn does not have an agent yet. He should get one. Now, the guy who called was just a friend of Elliott Kahn's, and this friend described Elliott's talents this way. This Elliott Kahn, the caller said, can suck his stomach up into his chest, he can dislocate his back, and he can blow air out of his ears and his eyes. Well, that's about all it took. Anybody that can blow air out of their ears or their eyes has got to be material for any edition of Auble at Large. When you meet Elliott Kahn, you'd never perceive that there was someone very special here. He lives with his mom and brother on Saturn Drive in Maryland Heights, and there's evidence all around that this was one normal 18-year-old. At Pattonville Senior High, he was athletic, a fair wrestler, football player. He's got a couple of bowling trophies, but it doesn't take long talking with him before you realize that everything his buddy said about him is indeed true.
This started with the back, right?
Right.
You figured you could do something with the muscles.
Right.
Is it the muscles or the bones?
It's the muscles pushing out the bones.
But your father had that.
Right. He was able to do this.
Show me what happens with that.
Well,
what can you turn? Can you kind of turn this one?
Yeah.
Could you pull your shirt up so we could take a look?
You want me to take it off?
Well, yeah, I guess that would help. Yeah. Now this is just something that you discovered you were able to do, right?
Right.
Okay. Now this what is this, like the shoulder blade or what?
Yeah, it is the shoulder blade.
Uh-huh. And it just kind of it shoots out a little bit, huh?
Right.
That doesn't hurt, or that doesn't give you any pain, or?
No.
Then you learned you could do something with your stomach.
Right.
Now what do you do with that?
Well, I just bring it in so far that just make all my innards just move out of the way and everything goes
You
in.
bring your stomach, what, up to your chest?
Right.
Then your stomach just disappears up into your rib cage, huh? Now you can feel your whole stomach up in there.
Right.
Have you talked to doctors about this?
No, I haven't talked to any doctors about that.
Uh-huh. But you have talked to doctors
about
blowing air out of
air out of my eyes.
Out of your eyes.
Right.
All right. Now I'm going to try to get a microphone close enough here that we're using a rather sensitive microphone. Now, do you take your glasses off when you do this? Now, does it matter which eye? Does it come?
No, it comes out both.
Air comes out of both. What?
Right.
The tear ducts? You think?
Right. The tear ducts. Yeah.
Okay. Now, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Now that's not. You don't feel any pain?
No.
Well, what did the doctor said about that?
They told me that it was impossible to do, and I told them, well, I can do it, but they don't say nothing afterwards.
Well, what do they think? It comes up through the sinus cavities? Or?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
And out the tear ducts.
Right.
And it comes out of your ears?
Well, I can make it come out of my ears.
How do you do that?
Well, I just keep my eyes. I just stop it from the
Well, you
flow.
close your tear ducts off.
Right, and then...
The air exits through the ears.
Right.
So you stop the air coming out of your tear ducts by closing your eyelids.
Right.
And then it forces it out your ears.
Right.
Have you ever heard of anybody doing this before?
Never.
Uh-huh. Does it scare you a little bit? Or?
No, not really.
How do you look at this kind of peculiar talent?
Well, just for kicks, I guess, make people laugh.
I have no idea what Elliott Kahn's going to do with his talent other than continue to perplex the medical profession, but he should be named some kind of wonder of the world. You might have noticed a bruised eye. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe somebody tried to knock the wind out of him. That's Auble at Large for tonight. The guy that's going to blow your mind, Michael Pritchard, is with us. We'll be back with him shortly.
It's not the zoo. The place is Muddy Waters in the Cleves Landing, and the man on stage, St. Louis and Mike Pritchard, doing his routine stand-up comedy. Mike's story is one of those hometown boys makes good. We're going to be talking just a little bit about that right now. We welcome Mike Pritchard back to St. Louis and back to the Newsbeat program.
Thank you, Dick.
Mike, you're going to be back at Muddy Waters, but a lot of things have changed for you since we did that little feature a couple of years ago.
I won the San Francisco International Stand-Up Comedy Competition, and then I went on to start performing more in the San Francisco area, and as that happened, then I was contracted just very recently by NBC. As a matter of fact, I going to have a series of my own next year based on some of the things I do with youngsters as a probation officer.
That is absolutely tremendous news. You graduated from St. Thomas Aquinas High School about 12 years ago, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in our audience that would like to be comedians, they'd like to be performers. How did this happen to you?
I think I always was the class clown, the idiot. I was always tossed out of class for being the crazy man, and I always did that even through my jobs and things like that. I always was acting like a crazy man all the time, and it was something that I really enjoyed doing, making people laugh and having a good time with people. It's part of social work, and that's what I enjoy too.
Yeah, but you were talking earlier, and I think you're probably on the money with this, that it's tough to be a comedian in this particular town, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's very hard. It's like first you have to really get people to pay attention because they're not accustomed to live stand-up comedy. And I've noticed that a lot of times when I'm performing here in St. Louis, that first, if I can get the people to pay attention and kind of watch, they really enjoy it, but they're very unaccustomed to seeing it, so they don't know how to respond. You run into a lot of hecklers and things like that. But
I want to roll back just a little bit. You've mentioned a couple of times you were working as with juveniles. You did that here in St. Louis.
I was a juvenile officer here in St. Louis County for 3 years, and then I moved out to San Francisco, and I've been there for 3 years now. And I keep working with kids because using comedy as a barrier to break down the hypocrisy that they throw up, the toughness and the macho image that they try and, especially the juvenile delinquent type kids that are into the macho thing.
But the character in Chips will be a juvenile officer that you will portray. Are you going to try to do that as a comedic thing or as a serious thing?
It's going to be a very serious kind of program, and using just my personality. I think just that I use humor in dealing with the youngsters that I come across, because it's very useful in breaking down the things that they put up as defense mechanisms to try and establish themselves as tough. And then if you can break that down and you have a common denominator of a sense of humor, and the kids really enjoy that. They can laugh at themselves. I mimic the kids constantly. I always tell the kids what they're like to me, and then I depict them and I do their own character. And they really enjoy that because it gets them an opportunity to see the reflection of what I see them as.
Well, you're in kind of the fast lane now with some heavy hitters. I mean, you're in the and with the big guys.
Sure.
Does this kind of help you keep your feet on the ground? Not a minute.
I do. Yeah. I don't know what I do, John. No.
But does this help keep your feet on the ground a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Working with the kids is probably one of the most important things I can do to keep my feet on the ground, because there's the accolades and the media attention and the people coming up and asking for autographs. But when you get in there with kids who really need you, I never get depressed, because if I go in with youngsters who really need me and they don't have anything, and I'm there with them, I can feel good about myself because I'm sharing something with them. I had a good, stable Irish Catholic background right here. My family was great here in St. Louis, and I grew up and I went to school here, college. And growing up and sharing that with those kids, that I have a sense of humor and I can help them, keeps me stable, so that I don't worry about the stardom stuff that they come up with.
Nobody in show business in your family, huh?
No, I'm the only one. They're all, well, no, wait a minute, I take that back. My mom was really a pressure, because my mom always said to me, you had better learn how to act.
Oh, yeah.
Act properly.
Act properly. Oh, was that it? Well,
Your father was with Dempsey, what was it?
Deming Pump.
Deming Pump. That's pretty funny, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good line right there. In developing this series, now NBC is committed to you then for a series. A lot of them come and a lot of them go. I wonder, are you working on it now? I mean, is there?
We're working on it right now. The first script will be a spin-off series from the Chips TV show, and we hope to have that sometime this spring. And we're working on it, and we're going to try and make it as realistic, and I want it to be something that people will enjoy watching and have a good time.
Well, you'll be looking forward to seeing a lot of old friends New Year's Eve at Muddy Waters.
Oh, you bet. I hope they all come down and And it'd be great to see everybody that I haven't seen in years.
Always good to have you home, Michael.
Yeah, thank you very
Best
much.
of luck to you.
Congratulations. You're really
Take care. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
No, you can say
We'll
it.
be right back.
You can say it.
Say in a moment.
Well, I'll be right back.
There you go. Like him, maybe I'd been in the big time, too, and everything.
You're on the swap meet?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.